Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. Matrix Money Tuesday.
Yes,
How's everyone doing? CCM, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm still playing a little bit of catch up from being pretty much away from everything last week.
Yep.
But it's slowly coming together. it's slowly coming back into picture. How about yourself?
Yeah, just running around, trying to take care of things. Slowly getting back to things right now.
Yep.
Getting the schedule in order.
I get it. And hey, pretty soon for you, change your schedule because kids are going to be out of school pretty soon, and then you're going to be like dealing with that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. At some point there might be kids running behind me during one of these streams. I can see that happening over the summer. They're just going to get bored and want to interrupt. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh boy. Well, then you better teach them right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey everybody, jump on in, say hey. You know the drill. As you're coming on into the stream, smash up that like button. Again, we're everywhere tonight. Facebook, different YouTube channels, different X channels, Odyssey, you name it, we're there. So make sure you're saying hey from wherever you're at.
Yes.
Share it out too. We don't mind that. Share this thing here. We're here every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. on the Eastern time zone.
Yes, sir. You know what I was thinking on the post? We should start putting UTC. I just realized how important that is. I'm going to start converting that and putting it out there because I think it's a good tool.
Then I'm going to have to use like a converter because I won't understand what the hell it
is. Oh, it'll be Eastern time / UTC.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, because simple minds, old minds, they just don't.
Oh, I understand.
They don't click. Shuby is in the house. Appreciate Shuby being here. Bedell is here, brother. Welcome. Appreciate you guys. All right. Well, I mean, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. We're gonna. I hope everybody appreciated what I did with the thumbnail and the title.
The thumbnail was awesome. I loved it. Great job. Man. They're getting better and better. Every week they're getting better.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I said, wait, I need something to capture this. And with the title of The Matrix is updating, I thought that was going to be perfect. And okay, listen, AI telling me I am an old man on the interweb. So there you go. So there it is. There it is. All right. Well, we got a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk. We're going to start out talking about Michael Saylor, I think. With kind of reflecting back to my rant when Jar and I were last live talking about the Bitcoin conference, right? And I was complaining about Saylor and Dorsey and hell, every government official that was sitting on the stage. But we're not going to go back down that road. But we're going to start there. And by the time it's done, we're going to catch on to some AI news, which I didn't even think we'd ever talk about here on Matrix Money, but
it's gonna happen. It's good. Well, first of all, it's Matrix Money, so it has to happen at some point.
Yeah,
I suppose that convergence is just it's intersecting. We're at the intersection right now.
We are too, man. That's the truth. That's the truth.
So,
well, whenever you want, my friend. What do we got? Somebody that just jumped in. Quick. Hey,
Macan 77.
Macan. Okay, thank you. And welcome. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for
all right, Jar. Kick us off, brother.
There we go. So the first one, there's some contradictory things happening right over here. There's a strategy likely to sell Bitcoin to cover the STRC dividends. Now, I should also point out, maybe I'll link this down below a little bit later, but your friend Andy, who's a YouTuber, does a really good breakdown on how the SRTC dividend fund actually works, how the payments work, the risks that are involved, and everything else that's involved with it. So if you haven't checked it out, that's worth checking out, and I'll add it to the notes a little bit later. But basically what's happening here right now, we've talked about how much strategy has been buying, but it looks like they're finally looking at selling right now, which is against one of their core principles.
Well, it's so funny, literally, what was it? 2 weeks ago, he's sitting at the Bitcoin conference, rah, sis, boom, bah, to never sell your Bitcoin, diamond hands, yada, whatever crap he's spewing these days. Again, not no love for Saylor with the way he's running this. Me personally, don't let me put words in Jar's mouth there. But I mean, seriously, and it's funny because I wanted to talk about this regardless once this came out, but talking about potentially selling Bitcoin to cover dividends, and then lo and behold, what did we see just a few days ago? Boom.
It totally seems like this was possible and inevitable. It's just a matter of time. When I was reading a little bit further into the article, they were talking about the average buy price of strategy, and it looks like $80,000 is that average buy price at the moment right now, even though he's still picking up more, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But at some point, there's going to be pressure to cover those dividends, and you're going to have to sell. And the CEO of SRTC or Strategy was also, I think his name is Fo. I can't remember his name. Anyways, he was talking about the necessity and the requirement of actually doing that with the investors in mind. So that proposal was put forward, and it looks like something that they haven't executed yet that I am aware of, but this is something that's on the table right now.
Gotcha. And we got Crypto Princess in the house. We have to acknowledge Crypto Princess. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, so much. I would love to get Crypto Princess on a live stream, but I know right now for her it's pretty much late in the day. So if you ever decide you want to stay up late one night, Crypto Princess, and you want to come up and be on a live stream with us, you are always welcome. Would love to have you here. But see, look, the lovely flowers. That's
just making things pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but well, we're gonna be interested to see, because as much as I'm sorry, trying to cover the dividends with your Bitcoin, selling Bitcoin, I don't know. Again, Michael Saylor, in my opinion, no longer the poster boy, I guess we'll use that word, for Bitcoin and what the Bitcoin ethos is and or should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, the diamond hands, the gloves are off right now.
Yeah, literally. And usually that's a good thing when the gloves come off, right? And you get those bare knuckles going. But no, not so much. Not so much.
Well, we also have a follow-up to this.
And that, and please.
Let me bring this one up here. Is after stating that, he went in and bought $43 million more of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So that's a buy and sell strategy. So he's selling purposely to rebuy, and this is to capitalize on some tax incentives that go along with this.
Yeah, of course. Harvesting. I'm having a brain cramp.
Yeah, tax harvesting is a method that they use
tax
in order to
loss harvesting. That's it. There it is. I got it. And I don't know. When they were talking about this whole thing, one of the things that came out, I think it was actually in that last article we had up on the screen, they were talking about this, and I'm using my air quotes, guys. Okay, inoculating the market.
Right.
What the hell does that mean? I mean, let's be clear. What that means, in my opinion, the math ain't mathing, right? So we got to do something to make
when the math gets hard. It's time to sell, right? You got to cover those points. So
I don't know. I inoculate the market, dude.
So that's one of the things that he was also pointing out, is because they're such large consumers of Bitcoin, they don't actually change or shift the market at all, whether they're buying and selling in large quantities. I don't really believe that, but apparently when they're doing millions and millions of dollars per day, there is no impact in the overall market. Do you actually buy that?
Do I buy it? I don't buy anything he says anymore. I just don't. Seriously. I think strategy has a strategy.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily think that strategy is the best strategy for the people investing in their strategy. Just saying.
Okay. All right.
Did I get that? I think that made complete sense. We'll see when I clip it later. But
well, we'll see about that. It was it's interesting. An interesting way to pay a dividend.
Yes.
If the price keeps going up. If it doesn't, then you're gonna run yourself into a little bit of a problem.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and let's be honest. As much as I know, Bitcoin's still kind of teetering that 80K mark here at this point. It's still not. It's still looking a bit weak, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jar?
Actually, what I want to do, I'm just going to pull up the Bitcoin's chart right now because luckily we've been hovering around 80K for a little bit, and
Yeah,
I want to be positive, right?
yeah,
See if we can be
yeah,
positive.
sure,
See
of
where we're at
course,
right now. It's
of
down a little
course.
bit today. We're down 1.5%, but we're still above 80, which is, it's nice. 7-day
Yep,
chart,
yep,
1 month.
absolutely.
The 1 month looks a
Bottom,
little bit more encouraging, that's for sure.
sure, absolutely. And what is that? Is that a 1 month chart or something?
Yeah, this is the 1 month chart. We can
Okay.
do 3 months. You can see recovery in the chart right now. Well, okay, I don't want to speak too soon because things are still happening internationally.
Yeah,
There's a
no
1 year
kid.
chart.
And
So
that's what I mean. It doesn't look overly strong. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like you said, I want to be positive. It's hanging in that area. Sounds great,
yeah, yeah,
but
anything's possible.
yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, there's a madman in your country that just has to send out a tweet and everything goes ass backwards. So I don't know. We'll just see.
wow, wow.
Yeah.
That sounded very Canadian right there. I'm just saying.
Ah, I'm
I
not a
love it
political
though.
guy. I just it is what it is though.
No,
It's shifting the
Jar.
tide a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, that's Jar spouting facts right there. You want to shout out the people that just kind of jumped in real quick? We had a
Yeah,
bunch of people jump
absolutely.
in. We got Lucas just jumping on in here. Welcome. Damn it, Dave is now in the house. Welcome, damn it, Dave. Let's see.
Welcome.
Wick Rider Ned in the house. And ha, somebody lied to you, tech man. Welcome. But no, sorry, no pizza. Sorry. Oh man. I mean, just to kind of, I guess we could wrap up our rant, or at least my rant on Saylor and what's going on with strategy. I think I still believe that what he's doing is risky, and the fact
Yes.
that we have to go and have this out there that, hey, we might have to sell Bitcoin to pay dividends is proof of that risk in and of itself, in my opinion. In my opinion.
His strategy has been working for him overall. Like if you look at the large picture, Bitcoin has been going up year after year, well, almost year after year. And long-term payoff could still be there if you're going to be bullish on it in general. So I don't know. I'm a little bit mixed up with this because I'm a degen at heart, so I like seeing the risk that he's taking. But overall, is this good for the market? Probably not.
Yep, I agree, and that's see, that's what you get for jumping in on Orange Man. There you go. You're gonna be the 51st state. There you go.
We got a
Oh,
province already queued up later this year, so we'll see
yeah,
what
yeah.
happens.
Seriously, though, seriously, it's funny. Jar and I were actually talking about that before we went live.
Yeah,
But we'll see. That's not what we're talking about today. Not on the agenda for today, folks.
yeah. So we got
Man.
what do we got next?
Well,
Oh,
I
this
think we're going to be talking about, is it Bittrex, I believe.
yeah. Let me pull
Guys,
that up.
remember Bittrex? I don't even think they're active anymore. They used to
I'm
be.
pretty sure they're dissolved now.
Yeah.
After the settlement with the SEC, and this is exactly what it's talking about. It wasn't viable to stay live, so they ended up shuttering their doors. The SEC has changed their position several times, and right now it's in favor of the crypto community. And what Bittrex wants to do is, can I get my money back? They have $24 million that they paid out in the settlements, and they want to see if they can get an IOU or something in return right now. I don't know what the likelihood of this is, and if it does work, it's sort of setting a precedence for other companies that were sued and had to pay settlements as well. So it's interesting. I at least they're trying, right? Give it a shot, see what happens.
Well,
You got nothing
exactly.
else to
What's the
lose right
harm
now.
at this point, right?
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
harm? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jar. Bittrex was a Canadian exchange, right?
I don't
I'm pretty
think
sure.
so. Let me double check. I don't know if
Yeah,
they're
well,
Canadian.
that's fine. I mean, I remember when back in the day, we're talking, 2017, 2018 ish. I was using Bittrex for some of my investments with regard to crypto. And
Mhm.
then, of course, they started at that point to backpedal, get rid of Americans and all that kind of thing, because they were trying to stave off the SEC and the DOJ and everybody else. And obviously that didn't happen. But frankly, I'm not gonna lie, Jar, I would kind of like to see them win this thing
I
and
would
get that
like to see it
money
too.
back.
Yeah. Also, if you lost money because of this, if they're
Yeah.
able to pay you back, that would be nice. It looks like it's just outside of Switzerland, at least
Oh,
the
is it?
last time that they reported it. So I'm not really too sure. Uh,
Okay.
in that
Okay.
area, at least, which is, the Swiss, they're known for a lot of things when it comes to money. Let me just move this out of the way.
Yeah, and not necessarily bad
Yeah,
things.
it would be nice. It would be nice to see that if that were to happen.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know what the harm is it going to take? It just add a couple of zeros onto our ever growing deficit here. So it's you know what I mean. But yeah, you're right though. It would set a very interesting precedent, especially where you still got some legalities pending against
Yes.
stuff like Tornado Cash and so on and so forth. Now, granted, this what they're seeking is from the SEC, and the whole Tornado Cash thing is the DOJ, as far as I'm aware. So
Okay.
I'm not trying to conflate the two different departments, but or agencies, whatever. But I mean, I'm sorry, one government, one administration. So it would
Supposed to be
be
pro crypto. Yeah.
it will be interesting.
Yeah, it definitely will. We'll follow it through, and we'll give the results when this actually ends up, and give everyone a little bit of an update. I'm not too sure what will happen with this, and with all the pending ones. I thought they threw out most of those pending cases. Is that with just the SEC and not the DOJ?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like all the pending SEC cases, I think, and feel free, correct us in the chat, or if you're watching this on the replay, in the comments. But I'm pretty sure those are gone. But the DOJ stuff, like I said, with especially Tornado Cash and that kind of thing, yeah, that's still all a cluster at this point.
Yeah,
That should be completely, like, a stroke of the pen by Trump. Get those guys back where they belong in normal society, and end this crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're mentioning Tornado Cash, and that's more of a privacy tool. Also, it's used for laundering money and other things as well. But it is
the U.S. dollar.
Exactly, and that's exactly my point. Like, a lot of these tools that were designed for privacy have been evaporated. And as we're going into more and more regulation, and as all these bills are getting passed, we're seeing it completely dissolve into almost nothing. There's a very few services right now that you can use without doing KYC. And that's part of new bills that are being passed here in Canada. We also have a stable coin that just got released. Now, it's not the first stable coin, at least that I was aware of. I just did a quick search on that. But it's a new one that is now passed with the regulatory group behind it. And I'll just pull up the article right now so you can take a look at this. Right over here. It's called CAD, CADD.
Yep.
It's the Canada's first Canadian-backed stablecoin, and it's issued by a financial institution. So it's the first one that meets all regulatory compliances and is being issued by a financial institution. So this is a really big step. However, if you take a look at the bill that was passed over here for stablecoins, there's a lot of issues that are going to bother people that have privacy issues with privacy and control. This is a CBDC. This is just a nice painting in front of it. But there's a lot of controls in this, and the ability to disable funds is going to be written right into the code. You can just turn it off with a switch. And this is being rolled out. Although this currently does not have a large market cap, it's not in testnet, but it hasn't been deployed. They've signed up with members like Shopify and other large institutions, banking institutions here in Canada, that went ahead and launched it. And I believe they've already starting to do some transactions on these rails.
Oh, and to the point of what you're saying, it being a CBDC, basically just by
Yeah.
another name. That's again the same thing here with the Genius Act. Just saying. I mean, they're just dressing it up and plugging it around. So yeah, and of course, you know, that's their place to go and stuff all of our debt and inflation, etc. But the CBDC aspect is the problem in my, again, humble opinion. Now with yours, Jar, what we're talking about here with this CADD, are they like promoting it on like,
so not it hasn't gone mainstream yet, so it is one-to-one backed like it's supposed to be. I don't know if fractional reserve lending is allowed or anything like that, but it's, from what I've read so far, it's being tested with institutions, and there are transactions that's going through. The market cap right now is roughly $400,000, so it's extremely low. And that if a corporation like Shopify, that's a Canadian company, were to launch with this, you would see this skyrocket with transactions, and you would see sort of where it's going and how it's being handled. I don't know if something like that would be promoted until further down the road, once they have more members onboarded.
Well, let me ask, I don't know if you know, but seeing, like I just mentioned about the Genius Act allowing for, you know, these stablecoin issuers to be backed one-to-one with U.S. Treasuries, obviously to absorb our inflation, our debt, etc. Do you see the same thing happening with Canada, or do you think maybe that is the long-term goal?
So more of a long-term goal. I don't know if that's something that they're going to outright talk about right now. If anything, there's been very little discussion about this, which is, if I put on my tinfoil hat, there's a lot of things that are probably happening under the radar right now that are just slipping through. And by the time you realize it, it's already in place and it's already being used. So
that's the way they like it.
Yeah, I'm being very cautious about it. Interested to at least try it out and see what's going on and test under the hood. But I don't think we're being funneled down a path with very few options, and a very limited voices are being heard around this topic.
Now, can I ask one other question? Do you mind if I pull this off the screen here, John, real quick? Let me ask one other quick question. Do you see a full-blown move to like eliminate actual physical cash in Canada? So you think this is part of that?
Ooh, that is such a good question. Do I personally think that's going to happen? Absolutely. But am I seeing signs of it right now? Not really. When we're talking about ATMs getting removed that are related to cryptocurrency, that's kind of contradicting that move. But well, it's contradicting the freedom move. In place, a new ATM could be put in with CBDC backed fiat.
They're stablecoin, right? Exactly.
So it could just be replaced in that matter. I don't see it being, and then again, this is one of those things where I'm talking about it quietly taking place with not a lot of voices around it. It could be implemented, and then all of a sudden it's, second nature. People are just using it. The biggest threat is it's being used on the back end without people actually knowing it. So when you're doing a transaction at the grocery store, at the gas station, if they implemented these features onto your existing bank card or credit card, you may not even be aware that you're using it. And I think that's the direction that they're going into, is we'll take care of the back end. The front end doesn't really change much. Cash has been king for so long, but with that dollar, I mean, when we put it next to yours, we're already 30% down, maybe even more now. And it just keeps going down. So inflation sucks, but it's what's happening right now.
Well, and that's kind of why I asked, because again, just beside the fact of another place to hide the inflation, and it's just easier to control, like you were just saying, with regard to, people will be using it, not even realize that they're using it. That was actually something we discussed last night during Hot of the Line, where we were talking about how do we do mass implementation of cryptocurrency, and one of the ways was I came up with was like, man, you got to make that user interface like seamless, baby. You got to just
bulletproof.
Yeah.
Without question, if it just works, you're not going to get very much refusal. And if it works better, people are just going to flock to it. Yeah.
Even better. Exactly.
And CCM, of course, it's going to work better. If you're building this on the blockchain and you get instant transactions, 24/7 service, there is no delay. The money just moves. People are going to flock to it. It's just it's a no-brainer.
Agreed. I'm with you. Talking as a person, I don't now, but back several years ago, used to like send money across borders all the time. Yep. And that, even utilizing stuff like Western Union or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I mean, expensive as a mother, and just like it still wasn't instant. Even sometimes, I mean, you could pay for that, but depending on where you were sending it, you couldn't even get that service. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Yeah. We got a couple of comments. How about we bring them up before we move on topics? Well, first off, Jesse.
Welcome,
Jesse's in the house. Appreciate you being here, man. And Andy, welcome. Physical dollars are the best P2P as long as they're not out of the systems to trade. Physical dollars will be scarce and, in my opinion, will hold much value in the future.
Hold more value, will they be accepted everywhere? That's the
Well, I mean, okay, again, I know we've got businesses and so on out there that are, we're not a cash business. Hell, I got like even one of my doctors. It's so funny. I just confirmed a doctor's appointment, and it goes through the automatic thing goes through a spiel, and it's like, be prepared for your copay, blah blah blah, and we are not a cash office. Well, it's too bad. What if I walk in with cash? Legal tender for all debts, public and private. But I'm not gonna sit there and argue with the AI on
the admin at the table. Line. They're not gonna give two shits about that. Absolutely.
But I to Andy's point, I it's gonna be difficult, I think, to completely eliminate the cash. Or at least in a shorter time frame. But I mean, of course, that's got to be their ultimate goal. How else can they control things?
At some point, I think we're going to have like parallel systems, at least for a short period of time, where they're both going to be in place. It's just, it's a matter of time until one takes over the other.
Yep.
I'm not being very optimistic, am I? I want to be optimistic. I know I'm not being very optimistic right now.
It's listen, it is what it is, that we're being realistic. And listen, we got people here that are very intelligent listening in on this, and appreciate everybody being here. If you haven't already done it, you know the drill. Smack up that like, share this thing out, and shout out. We've got a couple people watching on Odyssey. Appreciate you being here. I know if you try to communicate in the chat, it doesn't come through here where I can put it on the screen, but I will catch you live on Odyssey. Appreciate everybody that's out there. But I don't know. We got to be realistic, Jar, is the bottom line, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know what I mean? Got to be realistic. Wait, what's this? Sorry, CCM, cash isn't allowed here. Card only. Yeah, well, that's what they're trying to tell me, man. I'm just saying. And effortless gold. Love that name. Nice. Appreciate you being here. Love gold too. Love me some gold.
Gold is key. Kinesis, was it called Kinesis, the exchange? I signed up a couple weeks ago when we had Daniel on, giving it a shot. I want to get some of those gold backs. Get some tangible money in my hand.
The gold backs are beautiful, and whether you're getting them from Goldback or even one of the Orums from Metal Mark, and again, links to all that are in the description. Feel free. But like, man, they those things are beautiful. The problem with those is I almost don't ever want to spend them because they're so beautiful, right?
Yeah, it's a work of art, really. They're really nice. Yeah.
Exactly. But like Kinesis, I love Kinesis because again, you got options for crypto on Kinesis. It's backed up on the blockchain. It's so many. Again, this is not a Kinesis thing, but this is definitely
Good
a good
product.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Jar? Shall we get into the next thing?
Let's get into Terminator. Let me pop it up. Okay. OpenAI has a vision. Now, this vision isn't exactly the best vision, but they're talking about work replacements, in the future of AI and robotics, and what that means as a society. And what they're proposing is tax the machine that the people would. Okay, so they're talking about taxing robots in place of workers and taxing them at the same level that the worker would have at one point. So I don't know about this plan. There's a few other things. Maybe you can go into it a little bit deeper because I didn't catch up all of this. But the idea behind it was they're trying to create a vision for people to jump on board and calm down the fears of this acceleration, because there really isn't a whole lot that we can do right now in terms of slowing down the AI robotic revolution. It's coming. It's here. There's a few things I'll say about that a little bit later. But this is kind of like a nice roll out of the carpet before they started implementing more and more features.
Yep. And bottom line is, I think that this rollout or this proposal that OpenAI has put out there is the timing of it is very suspicious. Let me just start with that, as they're going public.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That in and of itself already gives me pause. Yeah, I mean, it does sound very altruistic. Everything you just said, right on the money. We're going to actually, there is one point of this, as you can see in the headline up on the screen here, they're talking about the robot taxes, right? There's a piece buried in that that we're going to kind of break out a little bit, because personally, that affects you and I on the screen. And anybody else that's utilizing AI right now. It sounds great. Get a public wealth fund so you can kind of like pay people. Think like UBI. That's probably the most
common term
connected.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly. 4-day work week. Boy, doesn't that sound good?
They're definitely painting a rosy picture. The definite concerns right now is job displacement, wealth concentration, and what they're doing with these data center build-outs. I don't know if you have a ton of them happening in your area, but there's a lot of conversation around me about new ones being deployed all the time. So there's a lot of concerns about that.
Yeah, I fortunately I don't have a lot rolling out in my area, but I do know there are like so many in going across the U.S. Matter of fact, I think Bedell was talking about one going near him. And feel free, Bedell, throw it in the chat. These and I guess we should point out that there's a lot of pushback to these data centers. And are you seeing this kind of data center kind of sprawl, if you would, happening in Canada?
Like from the headlines I'm seeing in the US, it definitely seems like it's happening there a lot more aggressively. Maybe it has a lot to do with power consumption, the cost of power.
Sure.
Power is definitely higher over here, or at least in some areas it's higher over here. So there's not a lot of favorable areas. However, the new government that came in right now is incentivizing the construction of these facilities. And the incentives are to build them out in areas across Canada. So I can see that picking up steam over the next year or two.
Yeah. There's no way that we'll keep up with this increasing use of AI without having more of these things. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep going. But let's focus in a little bit on the tax arena with regard to these AIs, and we're gonna play about 4 minutes long, but we're gonna let the AI that I love using, Dr. Julia McCoy, again, links to everything is in the description. We're gonna let the AI explain what's going on with the AI, and but before we get into that, it's funny. I hadn't really considered when I first read that article you had up on the screen with from OpenAI, that the proposal would adversely affect someone like me, because it's like, okay, I'm just using the AI to help me be more productive, more streamlined, more efficient in my business. And then, as you know, we're about to see in this video, when she lays it out, it's kind of like, well, damn, this isn't really a tax per se. Okay, my opinion. Not necessarily a tax per se on the robot. It's a tax on being efficient by using the robot. Because, you know, think about it. You know, these bigger open AIs, Google, Anthropic, whoever, they're huge. They're going to be able to absorb whatever. And even if that weren't the case, they have lobbyists in DC who are going to be manipulating whatever gets put into place that is obviously going to favor them, much like we're seeing with the whole Clarity Act right now. Everything that's going on with that Clarity Act has nothing to do with me and you, Jar. It has all to do with what's going to be best for the banks and the exchanges and all that. Well, the same is going to happen here, in my humble opinion. So I don't know. At the end of this section that we're about to watch, she mentions, get it set now, get everything in place now, but before the regulation actually hits. And that's probably good advice. I'm going to bring that up on the screen. Jar, do you want to add anything before I let this thing run?
No, well, one small thing is just like, if they're helping write the policies, then they're obviously designing it to help maneuver whatever
hell yeah.
that they're putting out there. Right? So that's what they get. They have billions of dollars at disposal to help finance the way they're going to lean into the future. So whatever rules and laws come into place, I don't put much weight on it.
Agreed. And one other point, which is why I like seeing, again, has absolutely nothing to do with the AI discussion we're actually having right now. But that's why I like seeing that now we have lobbyists in DC that are working for the average retail person to put forth crypto positive laws and so on for that will help the average retail person. Because unfortunately, you know, the banking lobby's got all these senators and everybody else in their pocket. I mean, let's just call it what it is. So, you know, we need to have some kind of counterweight to that. So anyway, I know I'm kind of mixing these together, but like Jar said, it's doing this. You know, this kind of stuff is coming together, and
it's converging. It's happening right now, right in front of our eyes. Yeah.
Literally, yes. Hence the title. Anyway, all right. We're gonna play this. I got it on 1.25, so it's you know, we won't have to do the whole thing, but it's about 4 minutes. I'm gonna let it run, and then we can hash it out. If you've got comments, throw them in the chat.
OpenAI just proposed that the United States government should tax robots. Not a joke, not a think piece. An actual policy proposal from the company that is approaching an $850 billion IPO, the single most influential AI company on the planet, telling the government to create a robot tax and use the revenue to fund a wealth distribution program for every American citizen. Sounds noble, right? Tax the machines, pay the people. But when you actually read what they're proposing, there's something buried in the details that should make every small business owner very, very uncomfortable, because this tax wouldn't just hit the big tech companies. It would hit anyone using AI to automate their business, including you. Let me break down exactly what's being proposed, why it's more dangerous than it sounds, and what you need to do right now to protect your business. What OpenAI proposed. Here's what's on the table. OpenAI released a policy document framing AI as critical public infrastructure, like electricity or highways. They're arguing that access to AI should be treated as a basic right, affordable to everyone. To pay for this, they proposed an American AI Wealth Fund, modeled on Alaska's permanent fund, where every Alaskan gets an annual dividend from oil revenues. This would give every American citizen a direct payout funded by AI-generated economic gains. And the mechanism? A tax on AI automation, on the robots, or more accurately, on the AI systems that are replacing human workers. Now, on the surface, this sounds progressive, even compassionate. The robots take the jobs, the robots pay the tax, the money goes to the people. Everybody wins. But here's the problem nobody's talking about: why this could crush small businesses. Who do you think actually pays a robot tax? It's not OpenAI. It's not Google. It's not Meta with their $135 billion AI budget. These companies have armies of lobbyists, teams of tax attorneys, and profit margins so large that a new tax is a rounding error on their balance sheet. The people who pay a robot tax are the small business owners, the ones who just started using AI to automate their marketing, the ones who deployed an AI chatbot to handle customer service because they couldn't afford to hire 3 more people, the ones who are using AI agents to compete with companies 100 times their size. Think about this. You're a business owner doing $500K a year. You just invested in AI systems that handle your content, your lead follow-up, your customer onboarding. Those systems are what's allowing you to grow without drowning. And now someone wants to tax those systems, the very tools that are leveling the playing field. This is the irony. OpenAI built the tools that made automation accessible to small businesses for the first time in history. And now they're proposing a tax that would make those same tools more expensive, right as they prepare to go public at $850 billion. I'll let you draw your own conclusions about the timing on that one. The reality is this: a robot tax implemented poorly would create a 2-tier system. Big tech companies that can absorb the cost and gain an even bigger competitive advantage, and small businesses that either can't afford the tax or can't afford not to use AI and fall behind anyway. The real lesson for business owners: here's why I'm telling you this. Not to make you angry, not to make you political, but to make you strategic. Whether or not a robot tax happens, and frankly, it's a matter of when, not if, some form of AI regulation hits small businesses, the move right now is the same. Build your AI systems. Build them now. Build them before the regulatory environment changes. Because right now, the tools are accessible, the costs are low, and there are no penalties for using them. Every month you wait is a month you're not building the infrastructure that will keep you competitive when the rules change. And they will change. The question is whether you're ready when they do. Here's what I recommend.
Okay, and she's just going to go through that and put in a shout for her own business, obviously, who does that very thing. They help get companies, smaller companies, and help them to get AI integrated into their systems. And every point she makes there, you really should take to heart. And again, links to everything are in the description. But like, think about it. I don't know, Jar. I don't consider the fact that I'm using AI to be something that's like extraordinary. But right now, if it was taken from me or I had to pay extra to utilize it, I either wouldn't utilize it or I would get lost. I would be one of those businesses that would get swallowed up by whatever these major companies would put out there. What say you about that?
100%. Like, the way I'm using AI is the same way I would use Microsoft Office. If I'm going to open up Excel, Word, I'm just going to be opening up another application. I'm in and out of it just as for use. Like, I'm using a spreadsheet to do calculations. I'm going to be using AI now for search for a lot of different things because I think it's a lot more effective with that. But one thing I can definitely agree with that she's trying to drive home the point is a lot of us are fearing what's going to be happening with AI. Rather than fearing it, you really have to try to understand it as best as you possibly can, understand all the tools that come with it, and actively use it, actively use every single component of it, and then figure out a use case if it exists in your business. Because if it exists, and more than likely, if you're not using it, your competitor is going to be using it. So there are advantages for it. And I definitely think that everybody, small business owners, should definitely be taking it very, very seriously. And if they're not even implementing it, at least testing it out and seeing how it fits in for optimization. We're talking about many companies out there laying off because they're already in use. It's trickling down. These corporations are already using it for things like this, and it's already happening at scale. It's typically the small business one that doesn't always jump on boat immediately because the costs are there. But I think it's something you can't afford not to look at right now.
Yep. Hey, 1,000%. And I'm going to bring this comment up on the screen because I think it is quite funny. And welcome, Dave Digital. Never ever will he ever use AI. Every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure you're tuning into Billy Goat Tales. Dave Digital has his Simple Terms podcast that is completely run by AI. You will enjoy it and learn something. So yeah, thank you. And tonight, guys, while I'm thinking of it, while we got Dave Digital up on the screen here, Billy Goat Tales tonight on X. They're having their X Space, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Any mod, please drop that link into the chat so people can have it. But you're right, Jar. Anyone, any business, hell, any person at this point that's not using AI to some degree is falling behind. There's so many things that you can utilize it for, even if it's just you need a personal. Oh, you don't see one scheduled for tonight? Oh, thank you, Jesse. Appreciate that. Just took it for granted because they always have one. Yeah, and there they go. Thank you for correcting me. Appreciate that, guys. Anyway, I mean, even if it's a personal assistant that helps you with reminders of, hey, don't forget, you got to do this for the kids here. Maybe do that, or you got to do this. Let me help you with that, or whatever it happens to be. You really need to learn these things.
Yeah. Dave's not wrong. If he's calling the AI the devil, this is the devil that you need to know. You need to know.
Facts, right?
Like, this is the one that is going to be aggressively coming at society, and this is the one that you really have to understand its strengths and weaknesses, because it's not all strengths. There's definitely weaknesses that come along with it as well.
Of course.
And the weaknesses are something that maybe you can take advantage of and build upon and show more value on that side.
Yep. Absolutely. And to that end, we're going to actually talk about one of those negatives in a little bit here in an upcoming article we're going to bring up when we talk about ATMs. But man, I don't know. The more people that are using it for good, it's kind of like, what's that quote from Spider-Man there with great... oh my God.
With great power comes great responsibility.
That's the one. I was like, I couldn't get it in my head there. That's the one. There you go. We need to be the great power with the, great responsibility.
The great responsibility. We need to know how to use these tools. Totally agree with you.
Jar, any other aspects of this that you think specifically related either to your not that I'm trying to put your business on the spot, but your business or crypto in general that you see as a...
Like right now I'm using it for lead generations and at least understanding the opportunities that might have been left on the table. It's really good with that. Looking at it, my business right now from a different lens, because there's areas that I never even thought about capturing where there's lots of opportunities. So for discovery, I think it's very, very useful. And that's something that I'm now realizing and I'm actively doing throughout my day. When there's a task that comes in and I'm assigning a technician to it, I'm wondering other angles that we can be using this when we start deploying services. So I think it's really I think it's useful. For me right now as a tool, it's very useful. Do I want it to run my business? No, I don't really think so.
No, okay, fair enough. And now you do a download of OpenClaw or something? How did that go? What's going on with that?
I used it. I installed SoulClaw on my phone. So with SoulClaw, it's an app that you can use on your Seeker phone, and they give you 5 free credits to just run some commands and just test it out. And it was useful for that. And there's a lot of automation tools that are built into it to perform tasks that you would want to do regularly. Dollar cost averaging into, I don't know, Bitcoin or whatever it's going to be. So the agents are very useful at doing that and capturing it when the fees are at the best optimal price. So there's a lot of use cases that are great. There's also things that just don't work. But these things are going to get refined over time. It's just a matter of time. Everything's so brand new. And as people brute force and break them, there's going to be ways to repair them. There's going to be more optimal ways to deploy them. And that's going to come out. So I tried it out on my Seeker phone. I thought it was pretty cool. Would I be using it regularly? I'm not really sure about that, but there's definitely a use case behind it.
Well, and you're right about the fact that it's only going to get better. This is the worst it's ever going to be.
Good point. We're in the worst part of it, and it's pretty extraordinary. I was
Yeah.
watching the evolution of those Will Smith videos of him eating spaghetti over the
Oh yeah,
last
yeah, yeah.
3 years. It's only been 3 years, and the evolution of those videos is insane. The quality and
Yep.
how good it is right now. And even from when that video was created, which was earlier in the year to today, it's only been a few months. It's almost indistinguishable. You can't really see the tells anymore. The hand gestures
Yep.
and the flow of the body, everything is just so fluid. It's extraordinary.
Yep. Which is why, for example, that video we just watched, I always tell everybody this is her AI doppelganger. This is her clone that's doing this. You
Yes,
know, she
that wasn't
writes the
even her.
script. Right. That wasn't even her.
It wasn't
The
even her.
irony. And just to bring up Dave Digital's comment here, he uses it every day, several different platforms, probably 3 to 10 different AIs every day, and he still is way behind. That's probably 15 to 30 on. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree. I'm testing out all of them. I subscribe to a few, like Claude is one of them. I've used Gemini and ChatGPT. I'm trying to use Venice, but the price of Venice keeps going up, man. You
It
told me
does.
about Venice, I don't know, 5 months ago, and it was like $4 or $5, and now I think it's like $15 or $20 already, and I
I
didn't
was
buy
gonna say,
enough.
yeah. I think I checked it today. It was like $17 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, VVV is a ticker. It keeps going. Let me pull it up here because it's pissing me off. Let me just share this with you. Because I'm like, yeah, I'll buy more, and of course, there's never a good time to buy more. I'm not pulling up the price
Do
because
you
it's
use Venice AI? Do you use Venice AI on the? Yes, I use Venice. Venice AI is my primary AI. I don't have it integrated to do like automations. I'm actually using Abacus AI, Abacus Claw right now to do some of my automated stuff, which actually works pretty well. But like for example, I get a daily crypto and economic briefing from uh, Abacus Claw. It's great.
yeah,
It's phenomenal. We
it's great.
use it in our live streams even.
Yeah.
But Venice, yeah, I love Venice.
So
I love the fact that it's private. Let's just go right
that's
from
the
there.
key feature. It's absolutely private. And I was talking to CCM about it over here, and we're like, oh, well, let's use it. And then I was talking about it, and I was talking about it, and then I bought it, and then it started going up, and I didn't buy enough, and then it just continued to skyrocket. And now I feel like it's too late. Anytime a chart does something like this, I don't want to buy in anymore. I want to wait. But waiting is only cost me more. So I don't know. Can't even
Yeah, and
decide.
there's a burn going on with them, which is helping to force the price up. So just so you're aware. But are you staking what you bought at least? I mean, because
I
right
don't have
now the
enough CCM. I only bought like $50 or $100 worth. I should be
still.
staking that, but it's still sitting in my wallet. Oh, I should mention this. The reason why I haven't done anything with it is because now Mexi requires KYC. So now I have to KYC on this platform just to get it off and use it because I didn't do it in advance. So yeah, I don't have a ton of it, but my plan is to stake it and start using it, get the utility out of it.
Because right now I stake it on Venice, and it's earning I think as of today, because obviously the earnings APY varies, but it's been pretty consistently above 14% APY,
That's
which
beautiful.
is like, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. So just again, I love Venice. I've been using it for a few years now. Uh, I wish I had gotten the airdrop. Well, I did get the airdrop. It just went to a wallet I can no longer access. But let's not get me going about that.
Oh man, I've done
So I
that.
had to, because other than that, I'd never have to touch a VVV or DM token again.
Yep.
However, I still have to buy my way in, and I'm staking because yeah, because I'm an idiot. But let's just leave it at that. But yeah, I love Venice. All things being equal, it's
I'm
also
not trying to
unhinged.
promote it. I'm not trying to promote it, but I just want to show people what we're talking about, just so they get an idea of the yield. So the yield right now is 15% when staking it. And staking it is required in order to use the service. Is that right?
No, you could pay with cash. You can pay with crypto, like Bitcoin or whatever. But actually, I think they only accept Bitcoin outside of their VVV. To be honest. But you can pay with cash, so like your credit card or whatever. But if you're staking, yes, you're good to go with regard to that. Oh, is that the current price you got listed up there? Yeah, see,
yes,
I said it was on 17. Yeah.
Hey, it went down 5% today.
That and DM went down. DM, it's back up again. DM was down below 14 earlier today. But Dave was Dave did a whole, his last Saturday's thing was on the VVV, trying to get his bounty bot. I know he's trying to build, and a lot of these centralized platforms are not allowing him to do that because it could be used to exploit things. Recommending Venice, and I'm not, without getting into the details of that. The bottom line is Venice is private. It only exists in your browser unless you make it, save it somewhere else. So, there are, what's the word I want? Like, you got to make sure you back things up properly if you want to maintain a running memory.
So it's basically a log file of all your interactions with it that you want to make sure that you back up, because once that's gone, basically your history is gone, right? So
yes, it's gone.
Yeah. Okay.
And
there's no cloud for this. Yeah, like most of us rely on a cloud service, like ChatGPT, Claude, whatever. So those conversations are stored on the cloud. No matter what you do with your computer, you can always access it. In the case of Venice, you're storing it locally, which is great for privacy, but you also want to make sure that you securely back that up, so you always have access to it. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yes, and that's the key, securing it without letting these cloud services read what you're doing. That's why I use an encrypted cloud service for all of my communications with regard to that. But again, we're way beyond where.
Oh yeah, I don't even know how we did this, but
we went down a rabbit hole right there. But I appreciate everybody asking, and Dave, I hope you can get Venice working for you to create that bot feed that you're trying to create. But like Jar was mentioning earlier, with the good comes the bad, anything with AI, and we've seen some things going on where AI has been utilized to replace people, like we just mentioned. And here's numero uno.
Yeah,
Coinbase.
So Coinbase is cutting off 14% of their workforce. They're not explicitly stating the real reason behind it. There could be multiple reasons, CCM, why this is happening. But 14% of that equals to 700 employees. And this is a trend in the industry, not just with the crypto space. It's happening in many different spaces. I'm in the telco space over here in Canada, telecommunications, and I'm seeing the three major companies, Bell, TELUS, and Rogers, all doing the same thing. It's happening in waves. It's like every quarter you're seeing them drop a percentage of their workforce. And I don't know what the end goal is, but this trend just keeps picking up speed.
Yep. Well, and Coinbase did come out, they're blaming AI. But like, let's be honest. I mean, they've been kind of cutting jobs now for how long? This isn't their first wave of cuts with regard to the exchange. And these exchanges have come straight out and said they're going to be having like AI do the coding for the exchange and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm sure they've got to do in customer service, whatever little customer service there is with Coinbase. Sorry, I got issues with Coinbase and their customer service. But anyway, I mean, I get it. I do. I really do. But like, I don't know. There needs to be a balance of things, in my opinion, with regard to this. But this is just one point of proof within the cryptocurrency space of what we were literally just talking about with regard to what's going to happen with AI.
Yeah.
So,
and the speed and the rate that this is happening at is I'm not like, I'm a technical guy, and I've been in the space for 25 years, and like I understand how technology moves, and I'm not even really ready for the speed of everything that's being deployed right now, and I'm not even comfortable with what's happening. It feels like we're just letting things loose and just kind of seeing how it works out without properly testing things, and in its impact also seems to be very dangerous. Um, and with that point, I'm trying to prepare myself. And if I can say anything to anybody out there that's listening, is to prepare yourself as much as possible and really understand the uses of these tools. And there's a lot of positive things that it can do, but
yes.
understanding how the inner workings is key.
Yep. No, 1,000%, 1,000%. But way back to what we first started saying, right? You need to understand these things. You need to be able to utilize these things, and that's how you insulate yourself, at least in the short term, with regard to okay, maybe you lose this job, but now you can do X job because you understand AI. Just the throwing it out there. And Dave, listen, bud, you can put whatever comments you want. You keep the chat moving. It's good. I love when Dave Digital is here. Love Dave Digital. And let's see. When you get stories done, you have to take time to talk on Hive Mapper. Maybe if you want to put that to the end or something, so we don't lose our place. If you want to, I don't know if you have anything with regard to Hive Mapper.
Okay, well, I can quickly talk about Hive Mapper.
Okay, go ahead. Whatever you want, my friend.
I'm completely out of the loop with Hive Mapper because of what happened with the delay of their hardware over a year ago. And I had pre-ordered it 6 months before then. There was very little communication, lots of delays, and I ended up canceling my order. Thankfully, I got a refund on it. I missed a really big peak with the token where a lot of people were cashing out. But overall, I just didn't think it was sustainable, and I'm kind of happy I didn't stay into it. A lot of people are. I don't know what's going on with Hive Mapper is really the bottom line. I've been out of the loop with that. With a lot of deep in projects, because just like them, they're getting crushed. And you're talking about their Discord getting hacked. That's happening across the board because the eye's off the ball right now. People aren't really paying attention to their projects right now. They're not involved in their community anymore. They've quite a few of them have, at least it seems like they've given up.
And it's sad because some of these projects I really personally had high hopes, and I'm not a deep in guy, but I had high hopes for some of these projects.
I love a lot of the ideas in some of these projects, and I really did wish a lot of them worked out to the way they were planned to. But there was also quite a few that had ulterior motives, and they were just liquidating as money was coming in. So not all positive, but I think when DeepIn comes back, it's going to come back a little bit more focused and stronger. Like the projects that I'm seeing like right now, like Wingbits and GeoNet and those type of projects with real utility and active people, active sales and revenue coming in. These are positive things. So they're actually being used rather than sort of treating the market as a test ground.
Yep. Makes sense. And Kevin is in the house saying he's listening and driving. Hey,
word up,
drive safe.
Kevin K.
Drive safe. And he also said he Claude code every day. There you go.
Got to use it. I think when it comes to the skill set, I think Claude is probably the number one right now, at least for now. Yeah. Who knows? Someone else might take them out sooner. Maybe the government might shut them down. I don't know what's going to go on, but there's a lot of military contract talks happening in the background right now. So, yeah.
Oh man. All right, let's get to because we're already over an hour, which I love this conversation, guys. Thanks for keeping it going. Really appreciate all of you. And hopefully there'll be people chiming in who are watching this on the replay in the comments. We check them all. So please make sure you do that. But we got one more, I think, just one more article we want to go over, and it's about the whole ATM thing. Now, this is something we've honestly talked about before. It was more surrounded about seniors, and the article that he has pulled up on the screen right now, this is actually from my website. Links are in the description. Like I said, feel free to go ahead and check out the entire article. But the reason that I put this together was kind of a threefold reason. First is that we're seeing more regulation, and in particular, I highlight in this article, Tennessee trying to put out more bans on crypto ATMs, Bitcoin ATMs, to try and protect seniors because they are falling victim to scams utilizing these ATM machines.
Wow.
That was the first reason. And guess what? Let's tie this back to AI. And this is where I said not everything with AI is great, because what are they using to make these scams more effective for seniors? I'd say drum roll, please, but I don't think we really need one. It's obviously AI. When AI is used to put these scams together, they are actually tracking them at almost 5% more effective at getting it over on these seniors or others when they're using AI. Absolutely insane.
I didn't know there were so many seniors using these Bitcoin ATMs.
Well, they're being forced to because of these scams, because these transactions then become irreversible on the blockchain, right? So it makes complete sense why they would choose these ATMs. The problem is that the wrench or the hammer that they're using to fix the issue is against the ATM and not the actual problem, which is the scam. And to that end, the third reason that I wanted to bring it up, and I'm hoping to get Jar's 2 cents in here, is because Canada, guess what? Canada back in the news, trying to go and crack down on these ATMs because
they're trying
scams.
to ban them across the country right now. At least it's being proposed. I don't think it's been implemented yet because of scams like this. Well, at least this is the excuse. The scams that are going across the country, the fees that are associated with these ATMs and the pricing mechanisms that they're using to adjust their cost at which you're actually purchasing them on. That's usually in favor of the vendor of those machines itself. And there's quite a few issues that are happening with it, but you're going to get that no matter what you're talking about when it comes to currency. So I think it's a really good excuse. I don't think it's going to solve any problems. I actually found that there was one around the corner from me. So I'm probably going to test it out, even though I've never used a Bitcoin ATM before. I'm going to try it out before it's gone. So I have a feeling they're going to get what they want and they're going to remove all these ATMs. So I'm going to give it a shot. But there's a very big push right now to get these removed. And there's quite a few of them around. Do you have those around in your area?
Yeah, I actually do have quite a few, and like you said, before they're gone, right? But I don't know. I've seen a lot of people use them. I think I even mentioned that on one of our streams. I was like just watching this guy, not because I was trying to like be a lurker or whatever, but just because it was just like cool. Use it, show me, pumping the money in there and getting his paper wallet and that kind of thing from the ATM. It was great to see that kind of thing in use. Just to kind of revert back for a second with regard to seniors, and Jar, if you could scroll back up a little bit midway, there's where it talks about the seniors. Yep, right about there. Yep, perfect. One of the things you got to keep in mind where it's also very successful with regard to scamming seniors is that this technology, ATM technology, I mean, it's been around since the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, these seniors are used to using ATMs. Now, I get it. A Bitcoin ATM operates differently than a normal ATM, but the hardware, the what it is, they can grasp that a lot better than they can when you say, hey, here, get your phone and go ahead on and hit a Coinbase and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. They just
everything's very familiar with an ATM. So it's
So that's another reason why these things are so successful for this age demographic.
That's a good point.
But the reason I asked Jar to stop here is because I'm going to throw it out there right now. This Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time is going to be my first reboot of my Crypto for Seniors series. I'm going to be doing a live stream, talking, answering any senior questions. I mean, I got a small presentation put together in case, excuse me, seniors don't show up. But if you can give me some support with that, or share it out to a senior who might be crypto curious, got questions, I don't care what they ask me. I'll do my best to answer it live. And if I can't answer it live for whatever reason, I will get back to them and make an entire video if that's what I got to do about it, to get this information out there. Because again, something we've talked about before, seniors, largest, quickest growing demographic coming into crypto right now, and they're getting scammed left and right for various reasons, not the least of which is what's going on right here.
Yeah, CCM, I like that you're taking it so seriously and trying to do your part with information and getting the message out there, because a lot of people have to be aware of these scams, and they're evolving so quickly. So adapting to them and knowing how they're working is key.
Yep. Well, thank you. And like I said, so that's this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, right after Dave Digital and his Simple Terms podcast. I'm going to be going live. And just a couple of updates I see in the chat jar. He's saying they made a statement on X, so maybe you got to go check that out.
Yeah, I should check that out and see what's going on with them.
And Kevin's saying, I have used the Bitcoin ATM at Memory Express to get cash into a blue wallet and then transfer it. There you go. That one seems the lowest fees. Okay. And happy with it. Okay.
That's good to know.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate that input. Thank you. And look who's here. Mining Socks is in the house. We were talking about kinesis. Where were you, brother? No, I'm busting you. Appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, I like I said, I think with regard to the ATM thing and all these bans you're seeing coming out across the board, again, I think New Hampshire is taking, at least as far as the U.S. is concerned, New Hampshire is taking the best approach with trying to be proactive with regard to creating legislation before, like, because it's pretty much being led by AARP. That's driving this ban across the U.S. anyway. Do you have AARP up there? Is that who's helping to move this in Canada, Jar? Do you know?
I have no idea. Let me check it out. American Association for Retired Persons. No.
Yeah, but I mean, they might have a Canadian version. I have no idea.
Yeah, possibly. I have no idea though.
I just was curious. It would make sense that if they had a Canadian version, that would be the impetus behind, or the movement behind what's going on in Canada. So the bottom line is, folks, we're going to keep up on this. I'll keep putting it on my blog, updating things. But again, I can't stress enough that let's try to protect the seniors, because they're not all tech savvy. People think I'm so tech savvy, and I can do more things than probably most people my age. I'll grant you that, but I ain't the guy who's going to be coding or a lot of this other stuff. So, but I want to make sure that the seniors have that information. So I'm going to be on every platform again.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you, Mining Stocks. Thank you. I agree. You got to, man, got to. But I'm going to be on every platform again. Especially, I'm focusing primarily on Facebook, because a lot of that demographic is there. So if you know somebody, like I said, please let them know I'm going to be live. Please tell them to come in and ask questions. I want to answer the questions. The more questions I get, the better information that's going to be put out there, rather than just me kind of talking head kind of thing.
So but there is a Canadian version. It's just
there is.
CARP. Yeah, CARP, Canadian Association for Retired Persons. So there is a Canadian version, basically the exact same thing that they're doing here.
There you go. That's interesting. I bet you they got some fingers in that pudding right there.
Oh yeah, stir it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's all we got tonight, Jar.
Yes,
anything else you want to throw out to everybody before we wrap this
up? Yeah, I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow, mainnet. It's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It should be at 1:30. I might push it to 2 just based on my life schedule. But we're going to be taking a look at some things that are happening in the space, the deep in space, the Solana space. Also, I have a new phone that just got shipped to me. That's from Helium Deploy. It is nothing like the Seeker phone. This is actually a node on a network. So I am going to open it up on the stream. I've never, it's called Xforge. I've never tested it out. I know a little bit about it because they've been talking about this project for probably close to a year, maybe even longer. They have nodes that exist, and apparently you can run a node on the phone. So I'm going to explore it a little bit more in detail. I'll give some more information about it because I'm going to be doing some digging into it tonight. But that's it. I'm just going to be doing a live stream tomorrow. How about you, CCM? What do you got going on?
Well, for the rest of the week, it's Crypto on the Rocks as always, Friday night. Although I probably will be cutting that a little bit short because I got to be ready for Saturday morning to talk to the seniors, and I don't want to be a little hungover while I'm doing that. So Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, to do the next Crypto for Seniors series. But a couple of things that I think we should mention, Jar, so everybody knows. Yep. We're working, or I say we, but by extension, it's actually Jar that's doing all the work, trying to connect with Tangem to get them to either come on live or do a recorded video. Is there any update that we can give out to the peeps before we go with regard to that?
Yeah, actually, it's great that you're mentioning that. So we're going to be scheduling more than likely a recording of it, and we'll air it. We're going to be talking about the Tangem. We're both fans of the Tangem wallet. We like the ease of use and everything else that comes along with it. I use it often for mining and everything else. But the functionality and the use cases behind it, if you have questions about the Tangem wallet, also they've launched, I believe, a Visa. I believe you have KYC for it, but there's a Visa component that came out. If you have questions about that, if there's anything else that you want to know about the product, let us know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter. You can also let CCM know on Twitter. Just drop some questions in there. We're going to be doing a full Q&A with them during that stream, or actually probably recording.
Yeah, exactly. It may end up being
it could be a stream. We haven't finalized that part yet. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we haven't, and it's mostly because a lot of them are kind of outside of our time zone, and so we're trying not to be, idiots
demanding
about it. Hey, show up on our stream, No. Yeah. We're trying to be flexible because honestly, we want to get the information out to you guys. I mean, let's be honest, right? And then the other thing is just to kind of put it out there, Jar is going to be on Hodl the Line in a couple of weeks, and we're going to be talking to him just like we did with Crux of Crypto and LBC last night, getting his input as to what he would like to see in the space to help create mass crypto adoption. So stay tuned for that. It looks like it's going to be June 1st as of this moment. So stay tuned. We're going to be talking to Jar because this is the guy. Wait, I keep getting, see, at least he get his finger pointing right. I can't even point the finger in the right direction. Hey, there you go. Oh man, but I think that's it, man. I think we're good. I appreciate everybody sticking with us. If you haven't already done it, you know the drill. Like, sub, share this thing out. Appreciate everybody, and we see a lot of people still lurking in the background, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you for doing that.
Thanks for joining. We'll see you next week, Tuesday.
All right, take care, everybody.